Hi, it's Zeke with the Eastside Church of Christ in Baytown, Texas. Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of the summary of the Eastside Bible reading for December 13th through the 19th, 2020. We continue in our reading of the Old Testament in the book of Nehemiah. And the final chapters of Nehemiah include a list of several who had covenanted with God and the stipulations of their covenant. Nehemiah notes also those who move into and around Jerusalem. And finally, we read of some old problems that raised their ugly heads again. Maybe the reason is because we read that Nehemiah had been away for some time, maybe as long as 10 years. Nehemiah acts swiftly by forcibly ejecting Tobiah, an Ammonite, who had troubled the restoration work. And then he finally moved into the temple. Well, Nehemiah takes care of that, throws him out. Nehemiah then cleanses the temple, he restores the tithes and the Sabbath observance. And finally, he confronts the Israelites for their forbidden foreign marriages. His book ends with a prayer. At the very end of the book, Nehemiah prays, "Remember me, O God, for good." Malachi's book is the last revelation from God for some 400 years. Maybe that's one of the reasons why it's the last book of the Old Testament. It rebukes the Israelites for their lackadaisical attitude towards God and His ways. There's no mention of idolatry, but it's clear that the people have no real enthusiasm for serving God in any real way. Malachi concludes the Old Testament with a strongly worded warning of judgment and a promise of a coming prophet like Elijah. We'll recognize him as John the Baptist in the Gospels. Job, finally. Job seems to have taken place in the patriarchal age, maybe sometime around the time of Abraham. The main part of the book contains several cycles of speeches by Job, a man who has lost everything, including all his children, his wealth, his health, and his accusing friends just maintain that Job is somehow guilty before God. And Job can't figure it out. He hangs on to his integrity and desires more than ever to have some kind of meeting with God where God will explain to him everything that's going on. But at the heart of this saga is the question that comes from chapter 1, verse 9. Does Job fear God for nothing? It's a timeless question, and it hits home to everyone. Will we serve God even when life seems to make no sense? Well, as we go to the New Testament, the last book of the New Testament, our reading in Revelation, we've seen seals opening up, revealing a series of judgments on the earth. The final seal opens with the revealing of 7 trumpets, and as the trumpets are sounded, judgments are again unleashed. John is given a little book to eat that tastes sweet but troubles his stomach. It means more judgments are coming. John measures the temple, and while 2 witnesses testify, then they're killed and then revived again. Chapter 12 seems to signify Jesus' birth and the attempts made to kill him. And when that fails, the dragon in the vision in chapter 12 makes war with Jesus' followers. And of course, it's a reminder to us that the devil is still at it. And if he can't destroy the king, then he'll go after his subjects. Well, there's a lot to consider in our reading this week. And I hope you'll take time to read, to ponder, and to pray. And we'll see you next time. God bless you.